that booty.
Oh god.
What's up, guys? It's ya boys, the CJs. Back at it. We're back from the Middle East, spreading terror.
What's up, my negrons?
My niggers.
Ooh.
My bump stocks.
Hard ER.
Yeah, I noticed.
You guys like that GIF I posted?
I did.
Oh,
I love that stock.
It's like when I slaughter countless innocents with this raw killing power of bump stock.
Yeah.
There's a GIF of this guy going, "Oh, I love that stock."
I don't actually use a gun. I just hit them with the stock, and the recoil just continues to destroy
I have
them.
a gun that shoots bump stocks.
You should see the attachment for it. It's got
It has
a
a
chainsaw
bayonet and a battleship on top.
It's good.
It is good. So what's up, guys? Since last Circle Jerks, a lot of movie news has come out.
You are very right.
We had the Super Bowl, and that showed off a lot of the trailers, like Solo.
Eh?
What are your thoughts on the Solo?
Well, I mean, I think it looks alright.
I'm more of a duo kind of guy.
Indeed.
A trio.
I don't like to do it alone.
I'm waiting for the Obi-Wan spinoff that's just Obi. A Star Wars story.
Obi.
Binks. Jar.
That is the true epitome
Just
of
the hyphen.
cinematography.
just hyphen. Hyphen question mark? Bees? Is this Star Wars anymore? A story?
Find out on the next episode.
Right. Steven, are you a big Star Wars guy?
I mean, I'm not like a super big Star Wars guy, but like I enjoy the movies.
Yeah.
I just haven't gotten around to seeing the newest one, so.
Yeah.
And for that, he is wrong. Because he cannot take part in these entertaining and enlightening discussions as much.
Well.
But as for the new Solo film, I am intrigued by the casting choices, as you were saying earlier.
Yes.
I do like what I'm seeing.
I do like Woody Harrelson's like the mentor. I think that's a good choice. Emilia Clarke always gives me a hard on.
Well, that's...
Donald Glover, he's in fucking everything lately. He's gonna be
Right.
like Simba in the Lion King movie.
Yes.
And also this dude.
Which
And
I don't
maybe
understand.
like another slightly off-color Black Panther in a sequel or something.
I don't understand everyone's obsession with him. Like, I mean, like, I get it, I guess, but...
He's a talented guy. I mean,
Well,
with black people?
Right, but...
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he was in Community, and I didn't know this. He's Childish Gambino. I didn't even know what.
You didn't know that?
I knew like the
That's
name.
why- that's
I've
what
never listened to him.
It's rough.
I'm not like a rap guy. It's rap, right?
Well, for his old stuff is rap, but like the song that you saw Get Out, didn't you?
Yeah.
So the song in the beginning of Get Out when he's like taking a shower and shit, that's
him.
also Childish
When
Gambino.
I was masturbating.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's also him, which is his like weird like I wouldn't say R&B. It's just really weird, man. That's a lot different than his normal music. But that song is like so wildly popular. It's ridiculous.
I'm more of a Cardi B kind of guy.
That's why like oh my
She has
goodness.
nice tits. I'd say.
Like
She was
it
a
does
stripper.
Yes,
it
I know.
doesn't bother me that he's like so popular. I just
Yeah.
it's just it's a bit much.
He's fucking everywhere.
Right, like fucking Jared Leto. I could give a shit less if I ever see him in a movie
you
ever
always, you always
again.
say that.
I mean,
He's not
because-
even in that much.
I know, but like it just everyone like when Suicide Squad was like in the works, everyone was shitting like so hard. And like
everyone was trashing him for that though.
But like before it came out though, everyone was like freaking out, like, oh, he's gonna be so good, and it just
It didn't happen.
I fell asleep the time I tried to watch that movie.
Really?
Huh. I was out. I could have cared less.
It was kind of weird.
It was alright.
Like, I watched it the one time on a plane coming back from Japan, and I was
Up
like,
home.
okay, that's a good way to spend the last 2 hours.
You were watching it in the Suicide Forest?
I was. With Logan Paul.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
With a Toy Story Aliens hat on?
Yes.
To add to the severity of the situation?
Yes. He and I are good chums.
I
God.
figured. I saw you in the background of his videos.
I tried to cover my face, but it didn't happen.
Disrespecting Japanese temples and whatnot.
Yeah. So, while we're on this topic, this motherfucker came out and he made another video, which apparently YouTube has finally put their foot down on Logan Paul this
Where
time.
he committed suicide in a video?
If only. What he did was apparently they were fishing koi fish out of ponds and then trying to perform CPR on them. And then I think he got a dead rat and tasered it a few times.
What?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is after the suicide force.
Yes, this is like within the last 3 days. So they posted the video on Twitter and YouTube and everything, and then PETA got involved because PETA.
The pedophiles.
Yes. And YouTube was like,
PETA?
we cannot condone him. He has a past record of like stuff that we don't agree with. So they removed his ads from his channel. So his
Wow.
his monthly income went from like 1.2 million to only $700,000 a month.
Oh, what a
Jesus
hit.
Christ.
What a hit.
What a hit to his livelihood.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's just ad revenue, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Was the hit... He's getting 0 ad revenue right now?
Right now, yes.
Okay, so the rest is just from his merch and shit.
Mm-hmm. So he's only making $700,000 a month.
Yeah. Damn.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
What a freak.
What a fuckboy.
Yeah, he's like the epitome of a fuck.
That's an understatement.
He's living the life.
He's more than a fuckboy at this point.
I hear some pussy.
Call pussy.
It gets me riled up.
Here, fishy, fishy, fishy.
Anyways.
Back to Solo. What do you think of the Han Solo actor?
I'm not sure
Because
how I
Ethan's
feel
like
just yet.
trashing on him. I'm like, we haven't even seen this fucker like do anything yet.
I mean,
I think he looks the part at least.
Oh yeah. From what I saw, I think he looks the part and he talks the part, but
Mhm.
whether or not he can actually pull it off in the film remains to be seen.
Right.
But luckily for us, we don't exactly have to wait very long for that.
Yeah, it's coming out in May. I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Wow.
Yes, May.
Apparently, episode 9's coming out May of next year. That's weird. They're just cranking them out.
They are. It's
Yeah.
like a movie a year.
Not even like it's like 5 months.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
I have mixed feelings about it because I have such a hard-on for Star Wars, but also they're making it feel less special by just cranking all this shit out.
Right.
yeah, it's. I mean,
Like, okay, they have, after this, they have the Obi-Wan and Boba Fett movies
Yep.
already announced. They also have a new trilogy announced with Ryan
God.
Johnson, which I'm not happy about, and then another trilogy with the Game of Thrones showrunners, which I am happy
Jesus
about.
Christ, dude.
So they have 8 movies in the works. They're doubling what they already have!
awesome? Question mark.
And it's all
I don't know.
coming out by 2019!
I mean,
Jesus Christ.
Oh
Are you
god!
kidding me?
I am kidding you.
I was like, there's no way. There's no
A
way all of that would be
hepatology. Dodecacology.
done. Yes. So I'm in a way that worries me because they could start to do like some Call of Duty bullshit where they're
Well,
cranking them out so
think
fast.
of how
They are
much,
doing it.
how many things they're going to be putting out. It can't all be good. You know what I mean?
See, I think it will be. Because here's the deal. With Marvel and all that, we bitch about how they come out with movies like every month, basically. But they have so much money backing this shit, they can finance whatever dream cast of actors they want.
Yeah.
What these fucking amazing special effects, like what they have like millions of people working on each
That's
film.
true. Like, I wasn't really that excited to watch Wonder Woman at all.
Yeah.
And, like, I was at a buddy's house and it
That's
was on.
DC though.
Well, right. But, like, think about, like, those types of movies. You know what
Right.
I mean?
There's
Like,
so
it
many.
just-
There's so many superhero movies.
Exactly. And, like,
I'm
I
not
mean,
excited for them.
They're right. I'm not exactly excited for them, but I'm not saying that they're not like entertaining. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? They're still
They're
pretty decent.
entertaining, but like I never like leave
It's
a
a bit
superhero
much.
movie and be like, wow, that fucking changed my life. Like,
No.
I've been thinking a lot about why the new Star Wars movies don't like stay with me like the older ones do.
Yeah.
And it's because they don't take risks. Like the prequels, at least, they took a lot of risks. They weren't like, you know, paint by numbers. I feel like Disney is just taking like what they know will make money. They don't want to
Yeah.
take risks with this shit.
Right.
So I don't
They're
know.
in the business though. That's what they do.
Right. It's just like a formula at this point. There's
Right.
like they've kind of like removed the soul almost. It's just like corporate.
Right.
I still like them, but like I don't know.
It's different.
Interesting. Yes.
Yeah. What other movies? We're gonna talk about Joaquin is gonna be the new Joker. Which, by the way, this Joker film, standalone Joker film, is not connected to the DC universe
In any way, shape, or form.
The cinematic universe. It's
How?
completely separate, just like Venom is.
Yeah, like Venom's.
I hadn't seen anything on that Venom thing, so.
Yeah, I just saw that like yesterday.
It's fairly brand new.
Yeah.
You're
They're
not
just
missing
dropping
too much.
shit like every day now.
Which, I mean, if that Venom film ends up being like good, I'll be excited because Venom's like obviously Spider-Man being my favorite superhero. Venom's like up there. You know what I mean?
I love Venom.
He's definitely one of the most badass
Carnage
Spider-Man.
to make a cinematic
exactly.
appearance.
Venom and
ever.
Carnage went hand in hand basically throughout. So it's like it's mind blowing that Carnage hasn't shown up yet.
Well,
but
back in like the Tobey Maguire days, I kept
best
thinking
days?
like I actually do like the Tobey Maguires better than any of the other.
okay, I
Spider-Mans.
will admit they're starting to beat a dead horse with the Spider-Man films.
Yeah.
Like he is my favorite superhero, but like fucking stop for a minute and like
let him breathe.
Yeah, like
let him die for a
I
while.
watched
and
about
be
like
reborn,
30
like,
minutes
10
of
years
Homecoming,
later.
and that was like another time where like it didn't keep my interest enough, and I ended up
Thank
falling
you.
asleep.
I thought it was fucking garbage.
Right, like
it wasn't garbage, but like
no,
like I
but
said,
it was
like,
just
paint
so
by
weird.
numbers, right?
It was just so I don't
It's
know.
safe.
Right.
But what I was saying before, back when they had like Venom appear in Spider-Man 3, I was thinking, okay, Spider-Man 4, Venom and Toby are going to fucking team up against Carnage.
Right,
and
it's
gonna
gotta be.
sick. And then they just, got rid of
Nope.
it
Yeah.
because, Toby was like,
Later.
See you later, gay boys.
yeah.
No, they need to. I don't know. I don't know what they need to do with that because I still would like to see another, like, good Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hate Tobey Maguire as a person. I really do.
He's
But
just
like,
a shit person.
I just don't like him.
Especially with the sexual allegations.
Oh right.
Oh yeah.
But like, and the Andrew Garfield ones were pretty cool. Like I was excited when the first one came out. I was like, this is pretty neat because it was different. You know what I mean? I liked it.
I liked the actor choice.
Right.
I did like. Okay, the
He
Parthenon of villains that you have for Spider-Man that are super badass. Let's pick the Lizard.
I know.
What?
Though, like, I mean, I could appreciate it a little bit because, like, he was a close. Like, that villain, he was a close person to Peter Parker, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I thought that was neat. They tried to go back on, like, the young Peter Parker, And I guess it worked for that. I thought it was neat. I wasn't, like, overly excited that it was the fucking Lizard. I was like, cool. Like,
Jizz my pants.
honestly, I was
The
kind of ready.
Lizard.
Well, I was kind of ready for, like, the Hobgoblin or something. Like, something different. You know what I mean? But God forbid they put a... Never mind. I was going to say, God forbid they put a black guy in a costume for, for a villain. And I don't know.
Are you saying that they have to show their face so that everyone knows that there's a black person?
I think we should let everybody know that a black person's in the room at all times. Yes.
I think we need to talk about the sheer volume of black people in Black Panther. Where White Panther at though, Marvel?
What do you mean by that?
Where's the Pink Panther?
Too many black people in Africa. 2 out of 10.
Not enough water.
We got enough apartheid. 2 out of 10.
Not enough 2/3, 4/5, or whatever it was. 3/5.
3/5 compromise?
Compromise.
Yes.
2/3 compromise.
Yes.
Right. Famous.
Iconic, really.
Yes.
Speaking of 3/5, how's Chase doing?
I don't know.
Me either.
He's going to Mardi Gras with us tomorrow.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
You guys aren't doing anything. You can,
I gotta do that work thing tomorrow, but it's whatever. Yeah.
what work thing?
The thing where I go to work,
When do you get off?
like 11:30 at night.
Okay, to all of our viewers, give them the address. Meet Dylan with pikes.
Please.
Like the frat boys, the pikes. But they're holding pikes. To run him through with.
Yes.
Yes. And then they rape him.
Like
because
real
that's what
medieval
pikes
pike.
do. Yes. Yes.
Wasn't that the fraternity you were involved with?
No, I'm not a rapist.
Are you?
That was the.
He is not a pike-toting rapist.
Yeah, I tried out and they're like, "What's your rape count?" I didn't qualify.
You were just like -4.
I was like, they're like, "Okay, we can't let anyone in that's only double digits." So I was pretty disappointed.
You were like, I'm only in single digit.
Yeah, they're like, you gotta be at least 6 figures.
Jesus.
But no, that's the fraternity that the Browns were in.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but I
last
think they're rapists.
No,
They were like
literally
one
the
of nice
last thing I
spikes.
ever heard about one of them at college was that, like, I just remember Shane showed up at a race and
The Indy 500.
no. So you remember there were sisters. There was Nicole and Crystal.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Nicole was there and she went to SEMO also. So we were talking and we're like, "Where's Sean?" And they're like, we don't know." And we're like, "What?" And they're like, "Well,
Sean's been dressing up like his brother for all of his classes.
We're like, "No, like they went out and like they didn't know where he was at that day." And then they said like the weekend before that they were out partying and stuff and they had to practice the next day. And Sean was just like nowhere to be found. Like they didn't. Shane was like, "I thought he made it home fine." Like I don't know. And I was like, "Holy shit!" So apparently he was getting like wrecked, like real hard.
Huh.
He actually died.
Yeah, he's floating down the river. Found him.
No, I remember another set of twins at our school, Jason and Josh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One of those two, I remember him telling me a story about when he was out at school. He like passed out and like woke up in the middle of a field. Like they were partying out by Carbondale and they were away from campus obviously, but like he was like literally he was like you hear people like joking about waking up in a field. He was like I literally woke up in a fucking field. He was like and like I think cops picked him up and like brought him back to his dorm and stuff and like I was like holy
Have you guys ever been that drunk?
no, like no.
Like I've been drunk enough to pee on Sierra's floor. But I've never been so drunk that I woke up in a field.
It's
Right.
a pretty typical occurrence around Carbondale. The cops are like, "Oh yeah, it's all good."
I don't get it. Like
I
I
don't
feel like
know, man.
I'd die of alcohol
Think of
poisoning before that
Think of how
happened.
much you would have to drink. Like think of your drink combination every time you've been trashed,
Yeah.
and like multiply it by like at least 2. I feel like to be
Like
that.
how would you
gone.
not puke before that
Right.
point where you're just like completely blacked out? You don't know where you even are.
Then you end up in like
They're
a
also-
sugar of the corn situation.
They're
I'm
also-
right.
They're also the ones who
Josh got
introduced.
sacrificed.
They're also the ones who introduced that Edward 40 Hands game to me. So
Oh really?
yeah, I'd never seen that. So you can imagine my surprise whenever we go over to Dylan's house. Not you, Dylan, the other Dylan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk in, and they're sitting there with 40s duct taped to their hands.
Dylan is.
No, Jason and Josh.
Oh.
I was like, you guys are retarded. I can't remember what, I think one of them got Colt 45 and the other had Old English. Like, nasty shit, dude. It was, oh my god, dude. I couldn't imagine.
Colt 45 is for a gentleman. Thank you.
Is it not a gun?
Also, yes. The one I used to attach my bump stocks to.
He just has a Colt 45 in his mouth. Oh no, what happened?
Oh,
I got so
wow.
drunk I thought it was the Colt 45 bottle.
I woke up in a field and was
Yeah,
like, oh.
my brains were outside my head.
Well, they already were, so...
Speaking of different types of alcohol, I just remembered this. I wanted to tell you guys. So, my grandparents were just recently, they go on all kinds of vacations, my mom's parents. And they just went they were down in Mexico, someplace with a bunch of their friends. And there's this place out there where they make, so you know there's like.
Heroin.
You know,
Yes.
No, tequila.
Oh, okay.
So there's 3 different kinds of tequila, you know that, right?
Heroin?
So the least common, at least like around here, is the golden, the añejo stuff, the really nice shit that you can't really find anywhere.
Right.
So there's this certain type that you can only get in this like one place out in Mexico. Like they like take you out and like side by sides and shit, and like they have it at like the place.
They blindfold you.
distillery, whatever you call it. I don't know, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they were selling bottles of it for like like $170 or something. And they ended up talking them down. They ended up paying like $75 per bottle.
Damn.
But they still like.
It's a master Jew to
but,
go down
like,
that
but
much.
they still like. My grandpa bought 2. Their friends bought 2. Someone bought 3. Like they spent so much money on that shit. But
Jeez.
it comes in this bottle. It's about that tall,
Mm.
and I mean, it's like. It was so good. Like I can't. Like other tequila is just ass. I shouldn't have drank it because I was like, this is incredible. Like it's it's just so much different than like the tequila you would just go buy at the store.
Right.
You know, like it's
I don't know if I
strong,
could
but it's
ever-
still smooth. It's man.
Right. I don't
It's
know if I could
beautiful.
ever like, even if I was super rich, like spend hundreds of dollars on like one bottle
Right.
of alcohol.
They've been doing shit like that forever though. Like that's most of their alcohol is from other countries and different places they've traveled. And,
So it's
which
like
is really
a
neat.
future version of Dylan.
Right.
He's not wrong.
Did I ever show
Or a
you? I
current
thought I
version of
showed.
Dylan.
I thought I showed him a picture of their bar.
Were they nude?
They
No.
weren't. Full frontal male nudity.
Oh,
Female nudity as well.
I'm ready.
Look at this, dude. That was around Christmas time.
Damn.
That's their bar that they have in their
That's nice shit.
like attached to their kitchen.
That looks like the aged entrance to your basement, your
Ah.
cellar.
Yes.
Peed on
I
by
showed- I
virgins
showed
with
you
their
that,
first
didn't I?
blood.
Yeah, I've been there. I've
Yeah.
seen the things.
Yeah,
He's
it's pretty
rated
nice.
it.
It is a very
And they
nice.
did have they had some, it wasn't the castmates Jameson, but it was some other new stuff.
Mhm.
It was really good. It like punched me in the mouth though. It was so strong.
But was it Lagavulin or not?
No.
I'm here to say, if you guys haven't tried Lagavulin, you really need to get on that. Shit's so good.
It sounds too Axis powery for me.
It was made
Too
in
Axis power.
Scotland.
Oh.
Not at all.
It sounded German.
It is Scottish.
That's great.
I think a 16-year bottle will run you like $83.
Jeez. What was the most you've ever spent for a single bottle?
Well, I don't buy a whole lot of actual liquor. I usually get it gifted to me. Probably no more than $35 currently.
I was gonna
I'm
say
proud,
I think
I'm
like
proud of you. I was thinking like at least triple digits.
oh
No.
Jesus no
No.
no the most the
because
most I
Dylan-
think I've spent is like 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most expensive thing I think I've ever gotten is like a thing of Crown, and we split it 6 ways for a. Well, it wasn't Beer Olympics, but it was this thing called the Puzzler that we did with all the frat guys. And basically, you had to go through a whole like handle of something, plus like I think it was like a 30-pack of beer and a whole pizza, or like several pizzas. I can't remember, but it was like a team of 5 guys, and we
Okay.
finished all that shit in like we were the first team to finish in like a half an hour. We
Oh
downed
my
this
God,
shit.
dude.
After that,
Jesus
after
Christ.
you completed it, you had to put together this big ass. It was like a 500-piece puzzle.
Dude, that sounds incredible.
By that time, we were like crawling on the floor. One of the guys, Dusty, he had downed so much of that crowd. He was like the MVP for that round. He like sacrificed himself, fell on his sword. He was gone. He was not even a part of the puzzler. He was just on the floor. So-
I'm taking one for the team.
Everybody needs
Yeah.
that one guy.
That's
We were
incredible,
just
dude.
like crawling around like maggots trying to find like the pieces that fit. Long story short, no team finished those fucking puzzles. We shoved up like baby puzzles or something because
Right.
500 pieces
Those big
was
like
too much.
those like big like triple layer cardboard puzzle
Yeah,
pieces.
like old people puzzles.
Oh, did I ever tell you about the article I was reading about this frat party? It was like in like
Was
Georgia
it Washington
or Maryland
Post
or something.
shared by?
It actually was,
Ah.
yes. So,
Gay.
so cops get called on the party, right?
Okay.
So they show up, and they step into the house, and they're like, something's off.
Too many niggas.
The breathalyzers were going off from the amount of alcohol in the air.
Oh my god.
The
No
air
way.
registered.
Oh my God, dude.
The air was
How
too
does that
drunk to
happen?
drive.
Like, it wasn't legally drunk, but the air was like, I don't know, like 0.01 or something.
God.
So,
Enough to get a reading is significant enough.
yes.
That's like a party from Neighbors with
Have you
Zac
ever
Efron.
have you ever had to take a breathalyzer?
No.
They made me do one when I was at the quarry because they did randoms.
No.
So I'd never done one. So, you know, of course, old 22-year-old me standing there. They didn't believe me when I told them I didn't know how to do it. But they were telling me, like, you have to, like, fuck you guys ahead of time. You have to blow really hard into it. Like, I'm not kidding.
And then afterwards you found out it wasn't a breathalyzer.
It was a large penis. No.
They're easily confused.
The old switcheroo.
Really, like, it takes a good, like, 4 or 5 seconds.
Are you sure I need to be blindfolded? That's the law, son.
It's a secret tool for later.
But, like, that's just mind-blowing because really, it takes about, like, 5 seconds to get a result, like, of constant,
Blowing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
At least 5 seconds to get a result, in my experience.
Zach's about a 7-second
Yeah,
guy.
that's my record. Back in my Magma Lake days.
Ah, yes, Magma Lake.
Dude, there was another one besides Magma Lake and 3 Meat Treat that you had that I can never think of. Oh my god.
There were
dude.
like hundreds.
I know, but it was another significant one. And I can never think of it.
Oh,
Whatever.
Anyways.
Names for our like stage names from college, or like our reputation names.
Your reputation
Being
precedes
gigolos.
you. I was the Unabomber because I blew you away.
Yeah, why did Justin name you the Unabomber in the group?
The
Do you not know
Unabomber.
about
He
this?
spelled it wrong.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
Here, I'm gonna
he
fix
spelled
it.
it like U-N-I, like a unicorn.
That's the way we always said it. I know, like, the Unabomber was different, but
Yeah.
he's been the Unabomber in my phone, like UNI-bomber for years, dude.
Because of the beard?
No.
No, it was like a dumb
'cause you
joke.
bombed
It was like a dumb
someplace?
joke his mom made. He used that red American Eagle jacket he had that had like the brown fuzzies on the inside of it.
Yeah.
That hood was really big and it like hung over his eyes. So his mom was like, "You look like a Unabomber." So we
Yes.
just called him that like since
And that's
then.
how you were outed.
Yes.
As the
Yep.
actual Unabomber.
Yeah.
Well, we also like that was good times back then because he was the Unabomber on my phone. Justin was faggot for years too.
Dude, he's still
Just faggot.
He's Fagmire in my phone.
And then we have the border jumper over here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
in my phone, he's still border jumper. I should change Justin's name to faggot.
Right.
Sarah in my phone is Sarah Kamikaze.
It's pretty accurate though.
Yeah.
She'll blow you away.
Oh, she has.
Oh.
Ugh.
Let's find Justin.
I told her it was a breathalyzer.
The old switcheroo.
I slipped into her pooper.
Oh.
What are you looking up?
I'm not looking up anything. I'm changing his name to faggot.
Oh. Solid. Steven has to take a call. We'll be right back. With a message from our sponsors.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, well, he's back.
Yes.
In black.
I had a quick
Face.
That was a quickie.
You had to put on blackface.
but he's already
He doesn't feel secure without it.
You got me.
We had to put on his night camouflage.
Yes. His active camo.
So
black
you
people
guys
flash.
didn't hear about the rocket launch that happened just the other day.
No, I did hear.
Okay, you heard about
Yes.
it. Okay. And did you hear about it, Steven?
The rocket launch.
Yes, the
The
rocket launch.
Elon Musk. thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've seen any of the footage from it, but he actually put a Tesla Roadster on this rocket, and there's a dude in a spacesuit sitting in the front, and he's driving. I think he's called the Spaceman.
Yeah,
And
it's
so
just like
this-
a mannequin.
Yes, it's a mannequin in a space costume in the Roadster, attached to the front of the rocket.
Imagine if like intelligent life found us, and this was the first thing that they found. They enter our system. They're just like, what the fuck is this?
My personal favorite story that's been going around is like he actually put a dead hooker in this Tesla Roadster in space.
No, it's Teddy Kennedy's.
What's the difference?
Are you insinuating Elon Musk is Teddy Kennedy reinventing himself?
Maybe. But yes, that's my personal favorite Dark Side of the Moon story here. But supposedly, every expert in the world is like, oh, that car's not going to last more than like a year because radiation's a thing. And I'm like, it's not
What the
alive.
fuck are you even talking about? Like, a
They're
fucking
supposed to be,
space
like-
shuttle just like left the system.
Yeah.
I saw a video yesterday on Facebook. Actually, this guy. I mean, and it was a fucking a Facebook video, but
Right.
like
So
this
I mean,
guy.
it was 100% correct.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
But no, this guy was talking about like how he's like, I don't believe we've ever been to the moon, blah, 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 and all this stuff, and I'm just like, dude. I don't know.
Did you hear about the flat earther who was going to launch himself from a homemade rocket to prove that the Earth is flat, and then he tried it and he hasn't been found since.
I didn't hear about that. I just heard that he was going to do it.
Yeah, he officially tried it. I don't think anybody's heard from him since.
Oh, like he tried and failed?
Yes, either he like
or
he launched into the atmosphere and he's just gone.
He tried, succeeded, proved the flat Earth theory, and the government took him.
Not the government, the Illuminati.
Ooh.
What's the difference?
That is also
True
true.
that.
To the FBI agent listening in on this, we're on to you bitches.
Hashtag yeet.
Stay woke, everybody.
Yes, sheeple. So,
God, dude.
Okay, do you think the Illuminati is an actual thing?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think the hip hop Illuminati is an actual thing.
Fuck is that?
Like it's like the Illuminati.
You guys didn't watch the Cleveland show. Never mind.
Yeah. So I wasn't.
It was a thing. No, it was a thing. And I think like Kanye West was like the head of it or something.
Yeah,
It was pretty ridiculous.
Jaden Smith.
It was,
yeah.
dude, it was hilarious. Like Nicki Minaj and stuff. They go into Kanye's house and they're all in robes and shit. And like
I think I have seen
Cleveland,
this,
like
'cause
Cleveland, like
was
stumbles
with-
upon it. He's
Cleveland
like the
was-
hip hop Illuminati.
Wasn't he with that like local rapper or whatever? And
Oh
that
yeah,
was, like,
God,
his
yeah.
introduction?
Fuck, I can't remember. I can't remember
Oh,
his
that was
name. I was thinking Thugnificent, but that's the Boondocks.
Yeah.
So speaking of Jaden Smith,
Yes.
so you know how he's like got like a SoundCloud rap career that's actually kind of taken off.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah. So yeah, he's actually making music that people actually like. So that's a thing.
I mean, good for him if he makes decent music.
Yeah.
Right.
So he
Quit
made
being a
mu-
shithead.
He made a music video, right?
Okay.
His dad parodied it.
Yeah.
No way!
Yes.
Chase tagged me in it.
Yes.
It has this great part where Will's just like staring at his hands, like he's super high.
Like
That's my
That's when
favorite.
you know, man.
the caption I saw was
My
the,
kid's a fuck.
the Fresh Prince is king.
Yes.
Absolute
Fresh king.
perfection.
Speaking of Will Smith, there was this movie on Netflix called Bright that he's in. And
Have you seen it?
Huh?
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay.
How was it?
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
I mean, it was like,
It's weird, isn't it?
it was really weird. Like I kept feeling like they were. It was just so. I mean, it was interesting to watch, but like if you go from like the grand scheme of the movie, like from the beginning to the end, it's supposedly like from like the beginning of a day to like early the next morning.
Okay.
And it's I don't know. It's just there's so much just nonsense in it. Like I feel like they tried to go for like a, because there's like orcs and like fairies and shit, but like
It wasn't realistic enough.
But they're in like fucking Manhattan. Like
Yeah.
Like what?
right. Like if you're
Well,
gonna.
that's like the whole gimmick of the movie, though.
Well, I know, but it's supposed to be like all these different like species and shit are like
Yeah.
coexisting now, and
Orcs are black people.
basically. And it was actually like terrible because like people like
We're on to you, Chase.
are
Black people
terrible.
or orcs.
Right.
We're coming full circle to that time that black people were radishes /
Dude.
the orcs that are born from the ground in Lord of the Rings.
Black people are radishes. And you're like Mario in the Super Mario World 2 or whatever.
Yeah,
Ripping them out of the
throwing
ground.
radishes.
Boom.
Yeah, most people don't know the underlying message of Super Mario 2.
Just fucking
It's
niggas.
very anti-nigga.
Super Mario or Super Nigga Bros?
Mhm.
Yes.
What would Toad be?
I mean, it was-
Is Toad mixed then?
Oh my god.
He's just like a mushroom,
Jaden Smith!
a mushroom person.
So Bright's an interesting movie.
I mean, it was all right to watch.
Yeah.
It was kind of. I mean, it was. I kind of had to force myself a couple times,
Mhm.
but
Like with Emily.
ooh,
Ooh.
no, no.
like you had to force it in
She has the force
because of your massive log. Your
Yeah,
sequoia tree.
That was his
my
name.
California redwood.
From space.
From friction.
And pieces of solid smegma that
Yeah.
looks like bark
Yep.
comes off
Yeah,
when
man.
you're
Yeah.
It's like putting in a wood chipper.
That's how you know that she belongs to him.
Yeah, there's a bunch of sawdust when you're done.
She's been marked.
Ooh.
Scare.
And anyone else that tries to fuck her just pulls out
with wood chips.
yeah, just splinters in their cock. And so when Steven comes in, he's like, "Busty, show me your dick. You got splinters. I know what you're doing."
Yeah, Grumps.
Hey, Grumps.
Right.
What else has been going on in current events?
Current events in the world.
Yes. What other mass shootings have we had?
Well, the Winter Olympics recently started.
Yes.
See.
I could not care less.
I mean, if like I had TV and could watch them, you know, like I would probably I wouldn't watch like any skating or anything like that. But like, so, you know, I'll watch the Olympics. I think it's interesting.
The snowboarding school.
Well, yeah, and like I'll admit I would probably watch about like 2 minutes of bobsledding just because Cool Runnings is one of my favorite movies.
Running.
But you know, I don't know.
What about curling?
Oh fuck yeah! I saw something the other day. This this article on like what? So like, was this actually a thing? Like, because this is how out of touch with like shit that's going on I am.
We're at war with North Korea. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh cool.
Yeah, we actually wiped them off the map.
But like, I saw something that was like basically the Olympic Committee basically nailed the Russians for like a huge blood doping thing.
But they showed up.
Right. But the whole thing was that they still showed up. They were competing as like individuals basically because they're like, we can't punish every person affiliated with like Russian Olympic athletes because not everybody was a part of it.
Right.
But like, that's fucking mind blowing.
Yes,
dude.
that is a thing.
The fact that it was so organized.
It was sanctioned by like Putin.
Right.
Like, Putin ordered this shit.
They built fucking buildings to like hold up the front for all this shit.
Yeah.
Like that's just insane.
Yep.
I was watching a Joe Rogan podcast and he had a guy that was involved in this. He was a Russian guy that like, you know, he was like a scientist or whatever that helped formulate this shit. And he was talking about how like some of his friends, you know, they thought it was unethical and so they tried to get out and they ended up, you know, disappearing. And he was talking about how he had to like escape from Russia and shit. Like it's like
holy crap, dude.
It's a thing.
It's like fucking communist Russia still, basically. Like, it's like Stalin-era shit going on.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
You're right.
And, like, think about that, though. Like, they can't just fucking leave it, like, as what it's supposed to be, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a competition between the elite, and that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a matchup of, like, talent and work. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not,
but in reality, it's just all the countries of the world measuring their dicks.
That's exactly
Basically.
what it is. That is the Olympics.
Yeah.
But it's neat to watch.
It is pretty neat.
The black boys from Kenya run rough ass.
Yeah, damn straight. That was like one of the very first episode of Circle Jerks. We talked about this, about how their last Olympics there was this black transgender. It was a guy that was transed into a girl that ran in the
girls' heat?
Yeah, and just fucking laid waste to them.
Right.
You're like,
Like,
well,
I can't believe that they allow that
like
shit.
who would have thought that somebody who was originally a male and has so much more muscle mass would
Right.
outrun them?
Like, this chick looked like a man. Like, I mean, it is a man. But
There was no
they
hiding
were
it.
fucking massive. Yeah. Oh god. But yeah, that's not very fair.
No.
Not really.
No, it is not.
It's like how in the UFC there was that one transgender chick that just like beat the shit out of those girls. And Joe Rogan was talking about it on one of his things. 'Cause, I mean, he used to be an MMA fighter, you know.
Yeah.
So he like commentates on this shit, and he's like, "Yeah, this trans guy wasn't even like technically impressive. It was just the fact that he had this sheer muscle mass to overpower these girls, and he still lost against some of them.
Like, bruh."
Just give up.
I consider myself trans age, and I compete in toddler Olympics.
I'm right.
Those kids don't know what hit them.
You're that dude that whose girlfriend has to like change him and like put him in the crib and shit. Have you seen that?
Yeah. No, I want to be
So
like the
funny.
guy who, when he gets home from work, pretends like he's a dog and dresses up in like
Oh
a
my god, I've
Dalmatian
seen that.
outfit.
He has like the paw gloves.
He has
Oh my
like
God.
paw gloves and he puts on a dog head and sleeps in a cage. Like, what? Does that mean he does it doggy style?
Right.
Scary.
I don't know. There's a bit of a lull as far as the political geo spectrum right now.
I've just kind of lost interest in it. It's so futile arguing with these people.
With
People like, you know who.
She that will not be named. It's because they're all dumb.
One of the arguments that she used on that cake thing, she's like, it's just like back in the day when, like, post-Civil War, when they wouldn't serve black people. I'm like, no, it's not. Not at all. Because in one, they're like, oh, you're a nigga. We're not serving you at all. Get out of my fucking shop. And the other, the guy's like, I can't make this one item for you that would be against my religion.
Go down the street to someone else who will do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's one guy versus an entire, like, generation of people. It's like, no, fuck you.
Right. I mean, it's so fucked, though, because I looked into it more after that argument, and this guy has gotten, like, death threats against his family, and, like, his business is basically ruined just because these catty gay fuckers, like, wouldn't go to another, like, non-religious baker. Like, just go to fucking Walmart or something. Leave this dude alone.
Like, why in this day and age does everybody, if they don't get their way, have to A, make some big shitstorm out of it on
Right.
social media, and B, ruin these people's livelihoods
Yeah.
for no damn reason?
Because they're so childish, they don't understand that, like,
Yeah.
making a stink about something is gonna ruin someone's shit. They can't fathom that. So then when it happens, like, no big deal. You know what I mean? Like,
They want them to be accepted, but they have, like, no acceptance for anyone that differs.
That differs from that ideology.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous they don't even recognize it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. You're right. It's impossible to argue with people because it's not even argument. It's more of it becomes a bit of a pissing match, and it's never. I mean, in my opinion, for the last 25 years, it hasn't even been a discussion. It's been you're wrong, I'm right, and if you don't agree with me, fuck you.
Basically.
And that's it.
There are, like, a rare few people that actually, like, are willing to have a discussion about it. But the vast majority does not.
Mm-mm. I agree.
Indeed. This is our echo chamber.
Ugh. Why is the life that we live like this?
see, mama.
See, Papa.
Well, now that we've washed ourselves of this topic,
Yes. Steven, here's a topic that I want to get your opinion on. What is your opinion on, like, the whole DACA thing and, like, the immigration and...
Steven, do you consider yourself a dreamer?
Do you consider yourself an illegal immigrant?
Or the
No.
child of illegal immigrants? And if so, how does possibly being deported make you feel?
How do you feel about building the wall?
Let's do it.
Personally working on the wall?
Hey, bro, just don't deport me afterward.
What's your opinion on it?
Fuck, I don't know. I really don't, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Steven's hidden well enough, they're not gonna find him.
True.
I'm also legal.
Hitting him on Tatooine. He's solid.
Oh, goodness. I saw an idea the other day from the idea of the wall, where it was like, we should build prisons into the wall, and then when these people have done serving their time, we just release them out to the other side. And supposedly they have discovered a funding source for this wall.
Mexico.
No, not this. Well, okay, in a roundabout way, yes. Apparently, there's like $15 billion from some drug lord sitting in a
Elon
trust
Musk.
fund. Yeah. It's sitting in some trust fund that if the people of the United States vote to use it, will entirely fund this project. Now,
Is it El Chapo?
it
El
might be-
Fapo?
It might be El Chapo. But yeah, there's like $15 or $17 billion sitting in some fund that can't be touched currently due to some restriction. But if people vote on using it for this thing, it's going to fund the wall in its entirety.
Wow.
So, discuss.
Okay, what are your opinions on the wall, first off?
Well, I don't know how effective
Will
the
it
wall
keep
is just
the
gonna
light
be.
walkers away?
Never. Have you seen
The Mexicans
Z-Day?
have a dragon now.
Have you seen Z-Day? Or World War Z or whatever the fuck that movie
Z-Day.
was? Yeah, doesn't that sound like some zombie movie? Z-Day?
It does. I'm surprised it doesn't.
Yeah.
It probably is.
As far as the wall itself, I'm not sure how effective such a thing will be.
I don't think it would be effective.
No,
Because I feel like people will always find a way around it. You know what I mean? If you build a wall, there's going to be fucking... like a repeat of the Underground Railroad. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but like think about it.
I mean, they already do that. They
People
already
will
dig
go.
under the
That's what I'm
border.
saying. Like people will go to insane lengths
Yeah.
with an obstacle like that provided to them.
Like,
no
Well,
pun
the
intended.
majority of illegals come over, like, legally. They have their green cards or work visas or whatever, and then they expire and they just stay.
Mm-hmm.
Or else they come, by air. They don't just, like, walk over the border.
No,
so
so-
it probably wouldn't be that effective.
When my father,
Unless you're gonna ban travel like to and from other countries, you know what I mean?
well, that's just not.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
So
Right.
So check this out. When my dad used to live in San Diego, he lived down close to Tijuana. Like he could see Mexico's border where he lived in San Diego. And there was a cul-de-sac not very far from where he was, where occasionally he would notice people around his neighborhood that he'd never seen before.
Mhm.
So he was like, "What the hell's going on?" So somebody in the neighborhood made a call to, I don't know, local state or something. Anyways, it got to the point where people were like seriously investigating this for a possible source into the country. It turns out there was a tunnel leading from Tijuana all the way up to this cul-de-sac, and it was like right under this manhole or in this dude's house, and they were all coming up through this place.
Oh my god.
Like, I mean, yes, he could see Mexico, but we're talking about this was miles away.
Yeah.
So
Mexicans are good at digging.
that they is.
Them diggers.
So
Oh my god.
I mean, like they had a big stakeout, and then they caught them all in the act, and then I think they sealed it all up.
Like they had a barbecue or they grilled steaks.
Yeah, like they actually just grilled the immigrants.
Oh.
But this was like 30
Wow.
years ago.
Were they spicy?
They made fajitas. No.
They would want to go out this way.
They was most spicy. So yeah, if that was 30 years ago, I mean, what are methods like today? What the hell is a wall?
They have a
gonna do?
giant drill. Like a James Bond villain drill.
I will call him Mini.
Yeah. The one thing, because I was totally against the wall to begin with, but the one thing that I thought of later was that it might actually hold off on like bringing guns and drugs across the border. Because if they have to go through like airports and shit, it's basically impossible.
Yes.
So that's the one thing that I think the wall would actually serve some purpose for.
I don't know.
But immigration, no.
no,
Not really.
I think that having such a wall would be A, a waste of time and resources, and B, even if you get such a thing, you have to have people to staff it.
Yeah.
You don't have enough people as it is to patrol such a large area.
Maybe if we brought troops home and made them the Coast Guard and shit. Because we got like 44,000 troops in Japan right now. It's kind of excessive.
Well, I mean, they're hanging out for fucking North Korea.
I know.
Now,
I mean, I get it, but
what we need to stop doing is stop dicking around in the Middle East. We need to end that shit and just stop it. Because all that
my answer is how.
pull the fuck out and let them do whatever they want. It's not our business.
And let the terror cells grow and then come attack us
So-
because that's what they do.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Question mark.
The reason that shit is a thing is because the U.S. government and their military strategy doesn't understand the idea of blowback. Because the people that live there don't give a shit about who's doing what. They give a shit about the bombs falling from the sky that are killing people.
I disagree.
So, okay.
Muslims have tried invading the West since fucking like 1400. They like invaded Spain completely.
Yeah, so what about the majority of people who don't care, and yes, they're Muslim, but then you've got this terror cell over here that, yes, they are Muslim-born because they're from that country, but then you've got people raining bombs from the West onto their places where they live, and then they see that, and they say,
Right,
okay, we should go join these people.
I get that. I mean, they use that stuff in, like, their recruit videos and shit even, but they also don't show the fact that they're also bombing their own people and, like, you know, hurting their own children and shit. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a good answer of, like, we can't pull out at this point.
We could.
We can't.
We can.
We've already been too involved. Like, they're going to come after us.
So what is this? The eternal war? Is that what you're saying? We have to stay there till we get everybody?
Yeah.
Because that's not gonna happen.
You gotta bring the stability of the region eventually.
They can deal with their own shit. If we're so worried about it,
but it's our shit now.
Bring those people back, and we can fortify our own shit. We don't need to worry about them. They can worry about them. Because all those troops over there, they'll be just as fine digging holes over here. If we're worried about that shit, we'll have them on standby. I don't think that we need.
We'd have to have like a complete travel ban or like a complete Muslim ban for that to work. And even then, they just
an Arab ban.
They would modify their techniques to just get people that were born here and recruit them into terror cells. I mean, they're already doing that. It's not even Muslim people half the time. It's just like, you know, random white people. So.
Well, I don't think that this strategy of knocking down doors and going and systematically searching places is helping. I don't think that's the answer.
I mean, you say that, but we've basically defeated ISIS in 11 months.
Okay, so who's the next group going to be? In 5 months, we're going to hear about this brand new group.
Yeah,
and they're going to take
then we
over.
put them down.
And it's this never-ending cycle. It's bullshit. It's a waste of time and money.
It's the way the world is, Bill. I don't know what to say.
It's a waste of time and money is what it is.
No, the Iran deal is a waste of money.
Well, that's true. No, we need to stop dicking around with that shit and leave it be.
You're an anti-Semite.
Yes, that's it.